everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to continue my makeup collection series. I have already done eyeshadow palettes and I've done lip products. So I'm going to go through all of my cheek products today. I'm going to do face palettes, highlighters, blush and bronzer. And with the blush and bronzer I'm going to, and the highlighter, I'm going to include cream items as well. So yes, I tend to talk a lot, to go through things, swatch things. It might be a long video. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with highlighters. I will start by brand. I don't have many that have a lot of brands in them, but I do have 3 ColourPop highlighters. These are the Super Shock. So let's start with my oldest first, which is this one. This one is called Manifest That. I don't even know. I doubt that they have this. This is very old and they do tend to discontinue products. But as you can see, I am almost done with this. I have been trying to finish this for the better half of 2 years. I am ready to say goodbye to it very soon. I have it in a project pan, but it is really pretty. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see that. It's quite glittery there. It does have a beautiful sheen on the skin. Oh my gosh, you can't even see that. You can see a little bit of the glitter particles. It's not obviously swatching the best because there's hardly any product left. And then we've got this one, which is Coasting. This one I'm also trying to finish, and I have used quite a bit of this one. I'm hoping this one swatches a little bit better, so you'll be able to see. It's still very creamy, which is good. I was always wondering if they were going to go bad, but they haven't gone bad yet. So that's those two. And then I have this one, which came in the Hocus Pocus 2 collection. I got the whole collection. This one has a flip of green, and this is new to me. I mean, pretty new, but wow, oh my gosh, it is really beautiful. I actually want to use this as an eyeshadow. I don't know if I really am going to use it as a highlighter. Wow, this one has a lot more pigment than those other two. You know, the other two are also quite old as well, but look at that. You've got all that beautiful green, delicious wetness. Gosh, this is really beautiful. But again, I don't know how I would wear that on my skin. I might just have to put that as a topper on my eyeshadow. I have used it once and that's about it. So yeah, I need to figure out a way to use it because I've seen how long these actually take to pan and finish. So yeah, I can't imagine I will get through this one quickly. All right, next I have 2 Beccas. I was late to the game on Becca, so these I bought, I think, after she announced that they were going to go under. So this is the first one that I got, actually. This is in Amethyst, Prismatic Amethyst. This was so beautiful, and I actually picked it up because of the compact. I just thought it looked so stunning. Oh, you can literally see everything, sorry. I thought it was so stunning, but yeah, it's definitely not my favorite highlighter to use and to wear. For a long time, I thought the embossing was really beautiful, so I didn't even want to use it at all. I didn't want to ruin that, but I haven't really used this that much because I find the impact of it a little bit harsh and a little bit hard to actually get away with in everyday looks. It also has more of like an icy tone to it, and I mean it's not that noticeable there, but it's more like white based, and I just don't think it suits me. So I don't know, I don't like how opaque that sort of undercurrent is of that white base. I don't know if that's really what you call it. So this one I don't think was a good purchase, and I'm gonna say the same thing about this one. So I got the Champagne Pop, but this was the re-release with Smashbox when Smashbox took over and obviously bought Becca, because this was the highlighter that everybody talked about. And I have to say, this actually smells like champagne, which is so off-putting. I really don't like that at all. And I find this one to not be all that amazing. I just don't know what the hype was about. For one thing, I feel like the color is a little off-putting. I just don't know how I would wear that every day. And yeah, I just don't like the scent. If they didn't have the champagne smell, I think I could get past it. but it's very, very off-putting, and I have not used these nearly enough for obviously the price that I have spent on them. So that is unfortunate and a shame, but yeah, it's just how it goes. I've got two from Catrice here. I really like these actually. I really like these as inner corner highlighters. So this is a limited edition Advent Beauty Gift Shop, the mini powder highlighter in the Lilac Frozen Glow. This is stunning. I really love this, but I love it as an inner corner. You can see that obviously I have quite a concentrated little dip here going. It would be really nice to be able to hit pan on this one day, but it is a beautiful, beautiful inner corner. I can't fault it. I feel like everything is looking kind of champagne-y now that I've just swatched that champagne one. But no, it's really stunning. It does just leave a beautiful pop. And to be fair, I don't really use this anywhere else but my inner corner of my eyes, so I wouldn't recommend it on the actual cheeks. And then this one is, what is this one called? It's the More Than Glow highlighter. I've seen a lot of people have this one. I really like this one as well, but again, I like it as an inner corner mostly. This is the Glow 10. So this one is not icy, it's more of a warm champagne color, and it's a more everyday wear. It actually kind of looks similar to the Becca, but I like this formula better, and it doesn't have that awful champagne scent. I like champagne, but I don't really want to put something on my face that smells like champagne, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I like these. These are very inexpensive, and I think they perform just as good, or if not better, than more expensive brands, which, you know, kind of tells you something. So I've got one e.l.f. highlighter. I do have some duo palettes where you've either got a blush and a bronzer, or a blush and a highlighter, and I'm going to go through those separately. So in terms of like a single highlighter, I just have the one. And this is the Multidimensional Face and Body Shimmer. It's the one that came out with the e.l.f. Retro Paradise collection. I bought this in the palette, and I think one or two of the lip glosses, or maybe just one of the lip glosses. And this is really beautiful. Oh, it does come off on the camera. I wasn't sure it was going to. I've never really used it on my body. I have used it on the face, and it does actually look really beautiful on the skin. It does have a little bit more glitter than I would care for, but it does also kind of leave that wet look in a way. So it took me a while to really get to know this. It's kind of a putty formula, like it's quite squishy. I thought it was going to be just a pure powder, but it's kind of a powder to cream. Very interesting. And yeah, I spent some time working on it in a project pan, and I was able to hit pan on it, and then obviously subsequently I've used it more, and I've been able to expand the pan. So in other words, I do actually enjoy this. I have almost decluttered it a few times, but I always, you know, stop myself because I realize actually no, I do like this product. Then I've got one Kiko Milano here. This is the Light of Venus, and this is my favorite highlighter in my collection at the moment. Unfortunately, it came broken to me. It was all smashed up, so I don't have the beautiful embossing or anything like that. But this is just so stunning, so blinding, and it really reminds me of the MAC Guilt of Whisper, which I have. So I actually will show them side by side. I think this one just is so beautiful. I have to be careful because it is a little blinding, but yeah, I do have the MAC here. This I pretty much have finished, but I have kept it around in my collection, and I just use this all the time. I do have a little bit over on the edges, so I'll swatch, but you can see it's very similar. I'll just try to swatch it next to it. The MAC one is a little bit bronzier, but I find that they have a very similar consistency, even though the color is a little bit off. And to be fair, the Kiko one is an easier color for me to get away with. The MAC one I actually used all the time as a bronzer topper. That's kind of how I got through it. I would use it as a bronzer. I used to just put bronzer everywhere and all over the place. So yeah, that's kind of how I got away with it, but it is more of sort of a summery shade, whereas this Kiko one is just like one that I could use all year round. But I do find them very similar in terms of quality, and this by far was my favorite up until I met the Kiko one. So they're both like on par with each other, but because this one is a relic now in my collection, I don't actually really use it. I just keep it around because it is in this special compact. I do have nail polish here, which I could remove. I just haven't bothered to do it. But yeah, this is, it came in this beautiful packaging, and I just have not been able to get myself to get rid of it or even finish it. I mean, look, I was like working on this and working on it. And to be fair, before I even started my YouTube, before I fell into panning, this had a major pan in it. Like this is my second one I've been through. Like I absolutely adore this, and I still check to see if they've got any special packaging on this, and they don't. It's all in that boring black packaging. So I've almost repurchased it again multiple times, but I keep stopping myself, especially because I have this one. Even though the color is not the same, it just gives me the same, I don't know, vibes. Gosh, they're so gorgeous. Look at them side by side. No, you know what? I actually feel like I have to buy this again. Even if it's not going to be in the compact, it's just so beautiful, right? Oh my gosh. I didn't realize I love highlighters so much. I really don't, but when I do love it, I love it. If you can hear coughing in the background, my partner does have the flu, so he's coughing up a storm. Apologies on that, I can't stop him. All right, next up we've got something from Nabla. This is the Skin Glazing in Ozone. This is beautiful, but it's very scary for me to use because it is so blinding, just so incredibly blinding. I mean, oh my goodness, look at that. I do feel like if you sheer it out, it's wearable. It is very beautiful, but it does scare me. I think I've put on too much sometimes. But I have really enjoyed it, and I'm happy that I bought it. I really like Nabla. So yeah, a pleasure, and I would absolutely want to keep this in my collection, even though it's not a declutter. Alright, moving on, I've got a liquid highlighter here. This is the Do You in the shade Claire. I got this in a beauty box, and this is a beautiful icy pink, and I pretty much got rid of all of my liquid highlighters. One of them I've actually put as a primer now, and this one is the only one that I've kept because I just don't really wear them, but there is something about this one where it just is quite beautiful, and you can blend it out, and it just gives you that beautiful wet look. It actually is beautiful, and every time I've used it on my cheeks, on my face, it's ended up looking really nice. So I can't like get rid of it, even though I don't really like wearing liquid lipstick, liquid highlighters. They're just not a preference to me. I don't know if they're a preference for anyone else. I know that the Charlotte Tilbury's came out, and then the e.l.f. did it, and then we've got Rare Beauty. Like, you've got all of the brands doing it. I'm just not into it. I'm not. Then I've got this highlighter from DLS. This is in the shade Bellini. This is beautiful. I have to admit, I usually just use it as an inner corner because it is very pink to the point where there's purple in there. So it's not an everyday highlighter by any means. But if I'm doing a very cool tone pink look, I actually have put this on my cheeks. Because you can kind of sheer it out, you just have to be careful with it. But yeah, most of the time inner corner is very beautiful. It's baked, there's a lot of product here. I haven't even made a dent, and I have used it a lot. Then we've got one item from Soda. This is from the Frozen 2 collection, the Holding On Tight to You. Never tried anything from Soda before, and I saw this on Beauty Bay, and I bought it when I did a haul last year at some point. And I'm very happy that I did, because I do think this highlighter is kind of stunning. But again, it's very icy. It has a white sort of base to it, but it is so beautiful. It is also really beautiful as an inner corner. So yeah, it's kind of blinding. It's not something that I could wear all year round. It's mostly like a winter highlighter for me, but I do like it. And then my last highlighter is Ofra. This one actually has 3 in here. I do have an Ofra face palette which we'll go through, but this is my only single highlighting palette that doesn't have anything else. I also have some duos from Ofra with, you know, bronzers and blush in the same palette, or vice versa with a highlighter. But this is my only single one with 4 different highlighters in it. So I actually got this in a beauty box, and it's nice. I haven't used it all that much, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like I have so many Ofra highlighters. When you look at my face palette, I have so many that I don't really need all of these. But these are very beautiful, I have to admit. They're very beautiful, and I kind of need to get into them more. Even these 2 could be blush toppers, really stunning blush toppers. And yeah, this one would be a beautiful inner corner, and potentially this one a lovely highlighter for the summer maybe, I don't know. Very stunning. All right, let's get into my duos because I keep talking about them, and let's just get them out the way. So I do have one e.l.f. here. If you're familiar with my project panning, then you would have seen this because I am trying to hit pan in this blush. This is the Cantaloupe Duo. I really like the highlighter though in this is compact as well. So I actually like both of these. And this is just a little gem. I love this blush. I don't have any other blush like that. And the highlighter is solid. It's very beautiful, really good inner corner. And yeah, I might hit pan the highlighter too, you never know. So this one I am working on quite a bit in my collection. Then I've got this one from May. I've never tried May before, but this is the Coral Blusher and Sun-Kissed Highlighter Compact, and this is really beautiful. Oh, I've just seen that it's broken. Oh no, I've just seen that the lid is a little bit broken, so I have to be careful. So yeah, this is really beautiful as well. This is a summer one though. I mean, this is so bright, and this is quite a dark highlighter. So yeah, this is definitely a summer duo for me, but still really beautiful. Swatch that highlighter a little bit better so you can see it. There we go. That blush, I would say, is pretty unique in my collection. I don't really have like that's like a true orange blush for me. And I have a lot of peach blushes. I might have some cream blushes like that, but that in itself is quite unique. And it's pure matte, no satin, no shimmer to it. So yeah, I really like it actually because it is unique to me. Okay, and then I have 2 duos from Ofra. I've got the Snuggle Up Blush and Highlighter Duo. This one I feel like, I mean, I do like the blush. I do like the blush, but I do think that the highlighter is nicer than the blush. I find, yeah, to be fair, actually, the blush is quite nice, but when I look at that highlighter, it's crazy. Yeah, this blush is not swatching very well. All right, so that is what it looks like. I did have to go into the blush quite a lot just to get a good swatch. This is quite pigmented when I go in with my brush, but I guess, I don't know, maybe my fingers are a bit wet or my hand was a bit wet from wiping it from the last time. It just didn't swatch very nicely. But again, you can see it's not that orange like the last one. This one is more of a peach. And this highlighter is beautiful. A little bit too blinding. So I do end up using it as an inner corner mostly, and I don't think you're going to be able to tell, but I have been trying to get a little bit of a dent in this one, but it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I do like this compact. It's not my favorite, but I'm not at the point where I would want to get rid of it. And we've got this one, which is the Blush Bronzer. This is the newest one for me. And I do find that this is just too pigmented for me. It's too dark, and I do think I'm going to declutter this. It is kind of what I expected. When I first looked at this, I thought straight away, this is just too dark for me, but I gave it a go, and I still have it in my Shop My Stash. I'm trying my best. The fallout on this is kind of crazy actually too. I just remembered that, but I just find it too dark, and I can mess up my makeup really fast with these two. I actually did a get ready with me with it, and you could see with the bronzer I just put way too much, and I ended up looking like a bronze goddess, but not in a good way. The blush is pretty, I guess, but I don't know, there's a lot of fallout with this just by touching it. It's not the same formula as that other one in terms of the blush quality, and this is more of a pinky mauve, and I am not a fan of mauve blushes, I've realized. So because of that, and because I find them very dark and kind of patchy and pigmented, I think I will get rid of this, but I'm not going to get rid of it today. I just think eventually when I do my next declutter, it's going to be one that has to go. Right, we're going to move on to my bronzers now, and I am going to include cream bronzers. So I've got one bronzer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the cream bronzer in the shade Amber. I actually am trying to hit pan in this. I would like to hit a pan in it. It's really nice. It's a little bit too pigmented and like deep for me in the winter months. But I do like it, and I can make it work, and I think for summer it's fine. It's just a little bit warm tone, and I do think I like a cool tone bronzer over warm tone, but I can use it and work with it, and I do like it. I've got one from Kinder Beauty. This is the Kind Bronze, and it is the shade Blissful, I think. And it kind of looks like the Physicians Formula in the terms of like how they did the design. This is okay. This is more cool tone. It's a little bit patchy, just to swatch it, but actually when you put it on, it actually is quite nice. And I do like the tone of it. I don't find it too orangey. It's not too cool tone. It's like a good neutral bronzer for me. It is quite pigmented, so you have to be a little bit careful with that, but for such a tiny little compact, it does pack quite a punch, so I do enjoy that. Next up, I've got a Nabla bronzer in the shade Dune. This one's really beautiful. I really like this. This is probably my favorite bronzer in my collection. I just think it's a really beautiful neutral bronzer. Really enjoy it. I think it's a little bit like the Kinder Beauty, where it's not too cool tone, it's not too warm tone. It's just a really good neutral color for me. Blends beautifully, looks beautiful on the skin. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of bronzer. My bronzer collection is actually pretty small in comparison to everything else in my collection, and I've made sure to whittle down my bronzers to the point where I've only got bronzers that I like. Aside from that duo that I showed you from Ofra, all of the bronzers that I have, I really enjoy. So I've got this Technique bronzer, which I'm actually trying to pan. This one looks like this, and I would like to finish this year. So this is another one where if you're familiar with my panning projects and videos, then you will be familiar with this. But yeah, this is a light bronzer. This is one that I can use all year long. So I thought, what better one to try and pan, because I don't have to worry about it being too deep or too light for me in the summer or whatever. I can build it up, so if I do end up getting a tan on my face, who knows if I will, then I can build it up if I need to. But otherwise, it just works for me all year round. Again, it's not super, you know, orangey. It has a little bit of yellowness to it, but it's kind of like that neutral dream of mine. I think I like a good neutral bronzer, and this is good, and it's inexpensive, so that's all good as well. I do have a little mini Milk bronzer. This is the baked bronzer. Obviously this is the cream one. Now I'm not panning this. Oops, I'm making a mess. I don't know if I will pan this, and I don't know how long I will keep this in my collection. There is an awful lot of product here, which kind of shames me. For being such a small product, you actually get so much, so I'm so happy I didn't buy the big one, because that would have just been soul destroying, I think. The reason I don't think I'm going to keep this in my collection too long, it's not because I don't like it or I don't enjoy using it or it's not the right color. I actually think it is a great color and I do enjoy using it, and you know, it blends out great. Yeah, it's quite yellow based, but I don't mind that. The reason that I think I will end up getting rid of it eventually is because it smells like plastic. It never used to, and it started to smell quite heavily like plastic about a month or two ago. And I kind of read similar things from other people that the Milk bronzer sticks just start smelling, and so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's gone off. And I do think that's a shame. I haven't got rid of it. It's not like a bad smell. It just smells plasticky. So for me, that's probably a sign that it's turning. All right, next up I've got one from Sosie Jackson. It's another cream bronzer stick. It's the Contour Cool. I really like this. This one has a similar smell to the Milk one, but it's not as bad. It's not as strong. But again, I have a pretty decent amount left of this one. I do find this one easier to use than the Milk one. I think just in terms of compact, this is too small. Like, you can give me this size of product any day, that's absolutely fine. But could you not like put it in a compact like this where it's nice and slick and I can just hold it in my hand? And you know, this is just a tiny little thing and it's kind of fat, and I don't know, I don't particularly like the design of that. But this is nice, and I feel like you get kind of the same amount. Again, beautiful, beautiful color. It's more of a, I mean, it's a contour shade. It's called Contour Cool. So this is more like for when I want a cool look. So I don't know. I mean, I have kind of, I've used up to about that much. I think you get it, and it's right at the edge. So you've seen how much I've used, and that's not a lot compared to how much is left. So again, I kind of need to work on my cream bronzers and make a point not to buy anymore, because I don't want to keep buying them and then they just go off. All right, I have an O for bronzer. This is the Americano. This is actually pretty deep, but I do like it. And as you can see the rings. So that excites me. You can see the rings. What does that mean? That I don't know. I don't know how close I am to hitting pan. But I can work with this. It looks deep in the pan, but it actually is not that bad. And also is a shimmer bronzer. It has a little bit of maybe not shimmer, but it's like a satin. It's pretty. It has a really, really nice kind of formula to it. I don't know if it looks great on my hand there, but actually on the face it looks good. And I don't know, I'm just excited about what that looks like, because that means I could potentially hit pan on this. And if I can hit pan another bronzer, I'm absolutely going to do it. Next up, I've got my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer. This one I actually want to hit pan on. This is another cream though, so again, as I said, I should not buy any more creams. This is beautiful. I think this is probably my favorite cream bronzer that I have. It is very cool tone. Like, look how muddy that looks. That's crazy. This is the fair shade. Very, very cool tone. Very cool tone. But I go in with a stippling brush and it just looks so natural on my skin. It looks like a muddy mess there, but on the skin it is so natural. And to be honest, like, I don't know, I really want to hit pan on this. I think it's a beautiful compact. It's very expensive. I mean, I wish it wasn't that expensive. Do I think it should be that expensive? Absolutely not, but obviously I bought it, so you know, it doesn't stop me, which is kind of stupid. Okay, and then I've got a Kiko Milano. This is the Warm Melange, and this has a beautiful compact. It is a baked bronzer. Has the beautiful marbling, and it is a very light bronzer. So this one is definitely a winter bronzer for me. I can't really use it in the summer because it doesn't really build up. I think that's like the thing I have against it. I can't build it up. It just kind of stays that one note color. And the weird thing about it is it's so light, but it is a very warm tone. And I wish that it was more neutral. I really do. I find it a little too yellow. So it's hard for me to use this. As much as I like it, and I haven't got rid of it, and I've never said I don't like it or anything like that, it actually is hard for me to use because of those reasons. And then my last bronzer is from Soul Body from Colourpop. And this is the last cream bronzer that I've bought. So I don't think, with everything that I have, I just don't think I'll buy any more anytime soon because I'm really happy with my cream bronzers. Yes, the Milk one doesn't smell the best, but I'm not going to get rid of it yet. I just want to use as much as I can before I get rid of anything. And yeah, I like all of them. And they're all kind of different. So this one, I thought when I got it, it was going to be far too yellow based. But it's not. It is so beautiful. I mean, it looks pretty yellow there, but it is really, really beautiful on the skin. Might not look the best on my hand there, but on my face it looks amazing, and it smells amazing. It smells divine. It smells like I'm in a tropical paradise somewhere. It is so, so stunning. It is the newest one that I have though, so I would expect it to smell good. But yeah, I'm very happy that I picked it up. I got the light shade. I thought this was pretty dark for a light shade, but it actually does look pretty light on the skin. All right, let's move on to blush. I've got a Bella Pierre here. This is a powder blush, and I'm actually going to be decluttering this. Not today though, because I have, you know, I can't let go of things. So this is the shade Amaretto. I'm not going to swatch it for you. It's powder. I mean, actually, no. Never mind. I will do it for you. Look at that mess. Look at that mess. The reason I don't want to keep this is because it's a powder. I do think it's pretty. It's more of a mauvey shade, but to be honest, it's very pretty. I just don't like using it. I just find it annoying to use. It's a really beautiful, natural mauve shade though, right? Oh, now you've persuaded me. Maybe I should keep this. It's just, I had it in the Shop My Stash and I literally used it twice in 2 months. And that's not good. And that's because I had other blush that I wanted to use because they weren't powders. But boy, does that look so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll think about that one. Okay, next I have two from Phase Zero. So this one is called Arabian Nights. And it is a cream, really beautiful. This is the first one that I got, and I really, really enjoy this. I really enjoyed the formula. I've never, ever, ever had issues with patchiness or it drying up. It is just a really beautiful, beautiful cream, and I really like the color. And then this one is Making Moves, and it's literally the same, but in a shimmer powder form. It is very similar. So it pairs beautifully with it, and you can see right there, they're like the two of the same, one powder, one cream. Obviously this one is shimmer and this one's not, but they're beautiful and stunning. All right, I've got three from MAC. So the first one that I picked up was this one, which is the Go Play So Natural shade. Really beautiful cream. This is such a natural color. I love this. I love it so much. I would wear it all the time if I didn't have all of these other blushes. I do really like that. This one I haven't tried yet and I'm ashamed. I did get it for Christmas and I still haven't taken it out. It is the shade That's Peachy. And I haven't even swatched it. It just looks, oh no, I have swatched it. I think I've swatched it, yeah, it looks like I've swatched it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this is like my favorite color of all time. I tell you what, this is my favorite color of all time. Maybe not to like wear on my face. So beautiful. Yeah, I'm excited to wear this on my cheeks. I just haven't done it yet. And then I've got this one, which I have used and I absolutely love, and it's a powder, and this one is called the Fairly Precious Extra Dimension Blush. This one's beautiful. And again, it is this corally, peachy divineness. I mean, look at all three of these. Oh my goodness. I can't stop looking at this. Obviously, this is a blush topper, but my word, it is so beautiful. So beautiful. I love it so much. I would say one of my favorites, for sure. All right, next up I've got this blush. This one is from Yes Love. It's a beautiful blush. It was very inexpensive. I think it was like €2. But it's so beautiful. I can't get rid of it. It is so stunning. It doesn't obviously swatch the best there, but on the cheeks, it is that beautiful peachy blush that I just can't resist, and it has some sort of gleam to it. There, if I catch the light. It is really beautiful, very inexpensive, and I'm keeping it. I like it. I've got one Lancome blush here. This one is the Blushing Treasure. And this one I've almost decluttered a few times. It is an old blush, but it is just that color that I can't resist. I have a little bit of hard pan, but look at that color. That is beautiful. That is too beautiful to say goodbye to. How do you say goodbye to a blush that color? I don't know how to say goodbye to this. Like, how can I? There's no way I can. That is too beautiful. It does look a little bit iffy on my skin. I'm not gonna lie, it does bring up the texture on my cheeks, so yeah, be careful with it in that respect. Obviously it's more of a topper, but gosh, look at that. Too beautiful, too beautiful. I can't say goodbye to this. I have two from ColourPop. I used to have 4, I think it was 4, maybe 5, but I only have 2 left. I did end up decluttering the rest of them. So this one is Night Bloom, and I've kept this around because it's just a very unique shade to my collection. There's just no other way to explain it. It's just really unique. And it's just this beautiful lilac. I mean, look at that. That is really stunning. I don't have any other, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful still. I don't have any other blush like it. It's gorgeous. And it's a pure matte, and I just know I really enjoy using it. And then this one is Fresh and Peachy, and this is my favorite ColourPop blush that I have. I mean, I only have 2 left, but this one is Peachy. And it came with the Baby Got Peach collection. And you can see why I like it, because I really love peach. And peach blush is my favorite. And this one just ends up looking really beautiful on the skin. Okay, I've got 2 from Kiko Milano. So they do really good cheek products. This is the Tuscan Iris. And this one I'm using currently in my Shop My Stash Project 10 Uses, but I love it. And I like going in the middle. I mean, obviously it's two-toned. If I go all the way over here, then it's very pale. And I'll use a different one. And if I go over here, it's a little bit more peachy. But in the middle, it's kind of the perfect balance of the two. So yeah, you kind of get a 3 tones there. But I like the middle one. But I could go light with this one. It's just a unique compact because it has that option to have the gradient. And yeah, I just really like it. So, you know, this one has stayed in my collection. I think the compact's cute and not too bulky for Kiko Milano. Like, normally they're kind of bulky like this one, or huge. This one is actually pretty slim, which I do appreciate. All right, talking about this one. So this one is the Shadow of the Earth, and I really like this one. This is a really beautiful peachy neutral shade. And again, it's like a beautiful matte. And it smells divine. It's not that different from maybe these 2 shades if you kind of mix them, but I don't mind having this one either because it's just a really beautiful neutral everyday blush, and I think that's kind of what I prefer. You'll notice I really don't have any pink blush anymore because I just don't like it. Alright, then I've got one from Huda Beauty. This is the Glowish in the shade Caring Corals. This is the middle shade. I did almost pick up the deeper shade as well, but I'm glad I didn't because I think at the end of the day it was a little bit of a mauvey shade, and I think I would have ended up regretting it. So this is gorgeous. This is just a beautiful, beautiful color, and it does sometimes get a little bit of hard pan, but it actually never has been an issue for me to get pigment, so I don't mind that. And I really like this color. I really wish that the pan was bigger, because a lot of my blush brushes are a lot bigger than this, so tiny. And I was shocked when I received this. Like, I just thought this was the tiniest little thing, and this is not even the mini, this is just the actual full size. So yeah, this is just crazy, but it's a beautiful compact, even though it's teeny tiny, and the blush is beautiful, so I can't complain about that. Okay, next I've got this one. This is from Deli Plus, and it is the Lip and Cheek Bomb Bomb. It is a powder to cream, I think that's what it is, because it's kind of like a powder, but the more you, like, if you warm it up, it turns into a cream. So I don't know what you call that, but this is beautiful, like beautiful, beautiful. I actually haven't used this in a really long time, but I have used this obviously on my cheeks. I also have used it as a lip product, and it is quite interesting on the lips as well, I'm not gonna lie. It has some sparkle to it, so you can't be afraid of that, but it is very beautiful and kind of unique to my collection. It used to have a gorgeous embossing, but I have destroyed it from using it so much, and I don't know how much product is in here. I would love to be able to hit pan on this. Hasn't gone bad, which is amazing because it is a very cheap item, but yeah, just absolutely love these colors. All right, then I've got this one. This is the Kiss and Smink blush in the shade Tulum, and this one obviously is a stick. It is really beautiful. This, I can't deny how gorgeous this is, and you'll see why, because it is just so stunning. Look at that. That is just so stunning, really beautiful. And yeah, this is probably, like, were you gonna say this is a highlighter? No, this is a cheek product. You can use it obviously on the lips as well. I think it is a cheek and lip. I've never done that. I've just always used it as a cheek topper blush. Really, really stunning. I love that it looks pink, but it's obviously like a beautiful peachy shimmer goddess. I don't know. I just think it's so stunning. And then I've got one NYX Sweet Cheeks in the Glow formula, and this is called Daydream. I almost picked up several more of these, but I just didn't go for it. I did look out for these because Make Me Up Missa loves these, and she has the yellow one, and I just haven't been able to find that in store. But anyway, this is gorgeous. This one does terrify me a little bit because when I've used it, it does kind of highlight the texture on my skin. So I have to be careful, and I think the less you use, the better, because it is very, very blinding. It is very much a blush topper, leaning on to highlighter, and you have to be careful with that, but the actual color itself is beautiful. Then I've got this one from Nabla. This is in the shade Truth. You might be getting sick of all the same tones and colors. I can't help it. This one again is a beautiful peach. It's just absolutely stunning. This is another one that terrifies me. I think it's so beautiful, but when I put it on my cheeks, sometimes I put too much on. So I have to be really careful with this one, but not to the point that I don't like it. I really, really like it. It's just, it's different, and it's different, right? These two are very different from each other, but still both very stunning. And yeah, I love Nabla. I think everything I've tried from Nabla so far has been amazing. And then the last blush that I have, yes, the last one, is from Essence. It's the Blush Lighter in Cassis Sunburst, and this is another gradient one. This one I almost decluttered because I thought, I don't like this. And then I just used it more and more, and I realized, hang on a minute, I do like this. It is very neutral. The gradient for me is kind of broken. I don't know what's happened to my gradient. I guess it just, the gradient on here, it used to look very beautiful, but it's kind of, I don't know, we've kind of lost the light area, I guess. But in terms of a blush, I don't really care because it is a really beautiful, neutral, light, just a natural blush, leaning on to more of a peachy, natural blush, which I really enjoy. And I'm glad I kept it around. All right, let's move on to my face palettes. So the first one here is Natasha Denona. This is the Bronze Cheek. And I realized not a lot of people have this one. A lot of people have maybe the tan one, and obviously the blush palettes as well. She has a lot of blush palettes, and then those really huge, enormous ones. I only have this one, and this is the only one that I probably will get. So you get 2 creams and then 2 powders. This is more of a bronze, and then this is like your everyday highlighter. I do find this a little dark. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite highlighter, and it's not my favorite highlighter formula. Let me just swatch it. See if we can have a look at it together. But yeah, it's a little bit too golden for me, so that's the only thing that I'm kind of like, I'm not really go for that one. But I do really like the 2 creams. I think this highlighter is really beautiful, and it's the first one that I hit pan on. I do think it looks quite stunning on the skin. And then I hit pan on this one, which I use as a blush not too long ago, and this is a really beautiful blush, obviously a cream one. And this is a bronzer topper. It's a little bit golden, but I can get away with it. I have used it a couple times and it's not the worst. So okay, then I've got this one from Revlon. It's the Photo Ready Galaxy Dream, and it's the holographic highlighting palette. It's not a very old palette for me. I did pick it up back in September, so not very long ago. And it's obviously got the different colors. You've got a blue one, a green one, more of your like pinky one, and then this one would be more of your sort of yellow tone one. I usually use this one more as an inner corner. There's a little bit of a dip here forming because it has a beautiful lilac to it. I don't know if it's gonna pop up on screen. Oh, there you go. It has a beautiful pinky lilac flip to it, which I really enjoy. And I also do like this one as well. And this one I have used on my face more than any of the others. I don't know if that one's going to pop up. There you go. You can see the light there. So that one is very pretty. I think for Revlon this is not that bad quality. And then we've got the blue one, which scares me quite a bit. And then the green one. Look at that green one. Woohoo, that's so green. Alright, then I have a NARS palette. This is my newest face palette. It is the Rising Star, so it's the Christmas 2022 collection. And I couldn't resist. I really wanted this. I do like this. I have to say, I like these full squares more than these two, which doesn't surprise me. And it probably shouldn't surprise you because if you've seen all my blush, they're mostly all of these colors. As these, you know, obviously this is very pink and this is more of a deeper shade, but these are very pretty. So they're very subtle though. I do find that I can build them up with my brush, but swatching them out, I'm not sure how they're gonna look. So that one's a very neutral shade. This one is obviously a beautiful peachy shade. And then we've got this one, which has a lot more shimmer to it, but I still enjoy it. It's more like a shimmery topper shade. You could use it as like a light bronze topper. And then we've got this one, which, oh my goodness, look at that. This one's pretty, right? Yeah, look at those. Look at those. Those are so pretty. And then we've got this one, which again is very pretty, but just not really the type of blush that I use. And then this one is probably a little bit more suited to me, I would say. It has more of that like red tone to it. But yeah, can you see that? That actually is very pretty. But yeah, this is just a little too pink for me. And then these are just perfect. So it's a good palette, not perfect, I wouldn't say by any means. It's not what I expected. I thought that they would have a little bit more pigment to them. I mean, they are very pigmented. So I don't know really what that means when I say that. But when I pick up on the brush, I do have to build it up quite a bit. Which is not a bad thing. It's just not what I expected. Is it my favorite palette? No, it's not. But I kind of need to play around with it a little bit more. All right, then I've got a W7. This is the Sculpt Power. And I picked this up because I heard that it was a really good dupe for the Benefit palette. And I don't have the Benefit. I have never actually tried any of the Benefit face products, which is kind of crazy. So I wouldn't know. However, I think this palette is very good. I really like the bronzer. I think it's a great bronzer. I really like the shade. It's a really good neutral shade and kind of shade that I can use. This is a nice blush topper. It's actually really pretty. I haven't used it too much. I tend to go in with the bronzer, and then, actually no, I have used this one. I don't know, maybe it was this one I haven't used, the highlighter. No, I've used the highlighter. I've used all of them. They're very nice, very blinding, and for W7, you know, it's very inexpensive, but some of their products are not bad, and then that blush is actually really pretty. Then I have this palette from Douglas. This is the All Glow Highlighting Palette. This one's really lovely. I really like it. I have to be careful because some of these pop out and I don't remember which ones. But I really enjoy this palette. You've got a really nice bronzer down here. This is obviously a shimmer bronzer, but I think it's great. And then you've got a beautiful blush here. It's like more of an icy one, another, again, like a topper. This is a good highlighter, like an actual highlighter that you would use on your face. I think it's really stunning. And then this one obviously is very icy. And you've got this one down here, which is more like champagne-y, more golden. I like all of these. I've used all of them multiple times. I think this palette is just great. Actually, no, I already swatched that one. I think this palette is great. And yeah, I'm just rushing a little bit because my camera is going to die. All right, so I'm gonna hurry up because I'm running out of battery. So this next one is the Electric Mood from e.l.f. This is a cream quad. It did have a bronzer here, which I finished. It had a highlighter here, which I finished. I worked on this on my Partners in Cream last year. I'm working on this shade again this year. And then once I'm done with that one, I'll probably finish this one. I actually really like this quad. I thought it was a good one. I didn't like the eyeshadow palette from the Electric Mood, but I did like this quad. I've got an Ofra highlighter palette here, so this is the one that I was talking about where I kind of have all of the highlighters that I could possibly ever need from Ofra. I have a lot, but this is really nice. I got this in a beauty box. I got all of them in beauty boxes. I didn't actually buy any of my Ofra palettes or my compacts or anything like that, which I'm kind of lucky for. But yeah, this is nice. It's nice to have, you've got like Star Island, Rodeo Drive, and then what's the other one? Blissful, and then the big one is Beverly Hills. I really like this one. It's in a corner. I actually want to hit pan in this. It's a really beautiful, beautiful highlighter. I mean, they all are. I think they do highlighters really well, right? I don't know. I think they do. It just reflects off of the skin. But yeah, I like this and I've used it quite a lot, but there's plenty of product left. Then of course I've got my Belgian Waffle from BH Cosmetics. Of course, I think a lot of people have this. I love this palette. I don't dip into these shades all that much, if I'm being completely honest. I did used to, but I just have, oh my god, they look terrible there. I did used to have far less highlighters, and now I just have a lot, so they kind of get neglected. But I do really like these two shades. This is a perfect bronzer for me. Let me just try to swatch it. But it is like that perfect sort of neutral shade that I'm just looking for in every bronzer that I try. And yeah, I really like this palette, so I'm hoping that I can hit pan in these two this year actually. And then last but not least is my Peachy palette from She Glam. And this is a dupe for someone, maybe Huda Beauty or some other palette like brand out there, I can't recall. But you've got one cream and then these are all powders. This is beautiful and I want to hit pan on this. This is just a really beautiful blush topper, absolutely stunning. This is a really good highlighter. I like to use it in my inner corner. Stunning. And then this one, not so much. I'm not a huge fan of this one, I have to say. It's just it's like a nothing shade to me. I do like this shade though, this cream. It's kind of interesting. I don't really use it all that much, but it's kind of a bronzer, although it's not a bronzer. So, but yeah, this is beautiful and this one's beautiful. So I like this highlighter even though it is She Glam. So yeah, those are all of my cheek products. I'm going to end the video here because I literally have no battery left. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you liked the video, like, subscribe if you'd like to. I will be doing primers, foundation, face powders and all that in a separate video. But thank you so much. I'll see you all next time. Bye.